Hello, Kulas. Welcome back to Viva Barca, the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Frankie de Jong, as Gerard Romero have just revealed that Manchester City tried to sign the 24-year-old Barcelona midfielder in January. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about Felipe Coutinho, as it has been reported that Newcastle United are ready to match Coutinho's 40 million euros buyout clause. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video a like and make sure to watch the video right up to the very end. Reputed football journalist Gerard Romero has dropped an interesting insight into Barcelona's pursuit of Ferran Torres earlier this year. The former Valencia forward had arrived at Barcelona in January. He joined the club on a permanent deal worth around 55 million euros. It was quite an investment for Barcelona, given their financial shortcomings at the time, and in an effort to take advantage of their situation, Manchester City had asked about the potential inclusion of Frankie de Jong in the deal. Barcelona were swift to reject the notion, as they had no intention to offload the Dutch international, even though he was struggling with lack of form at the time. 3 months later, it has turned out to be a wise move by Barca, as Frankie has emerged as one of the most improved players in the squad since the turn of the year. The former Ajax youngster has offered seamless service in the middle of the park, building a formidable partnership alongside Sergio Busquets and Pedri. He is expected to remain a crucial part of Xavi's setup in years to come. Ferran Torres too has lived up to his hefty price tag so far, having established himself as a crucial source of productivity on the left flank. In 19 competitive appearances, Ferran has scored 7 goals and mustered 7 assists, although his productivity has dwindled in recent weeks. The Spaniard could be a vital cog in Xavi's attacking unit as the Spaniard looks to guide Barca into a new era. Frankie de Jong is one of the key players in our team right now, and it's not surprising, this report, saying that Manchester City wanted him and they wanted to take advantage of the fact that Barcelona were interested in Ferran Torres that January, but luckily enough, Barca had to reject it, which was a very, very wise move. And of course, we can now see Frankie, who have improved his game. Because I quite remember Frankie was heavily criticized, for his performances. And there were a lot of rumors, a lot of reports saying that Frankie de Jong might likely be sold. Barcelona were contemplating of selling him. Bayern were interested. Man City were interested. And some other top clubs too. And now we can see how Frankie have upped his game. Barca did not sanction a sale. And Frankie de Jong is one of the key players at the middle of the park for Barcelona. Barcelona have a lot of young players right now, which we need to take care of, not to sell them to other top clubs to make them stronger and we remain weaker. But of course, players like Frankie de Jong, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Gavi, and many of them are the pillars of this club in the near future, and Barca need to take care of them. And of course, very happy that Frankie de Jong is playing the way he is playing and, still have the potential to bring in better performances for our side. And there have been a lot of talks about his position of play because originally Frankie de Jong is a DM. And of course, coming to Barcelona, meeting Sergio Busquets, who is also a DM, have hindered de Jong to play that role at the Camp Nou. And when Frankie de Jong was not at his best form, maybe some few months back, a lot were pointing fingers at his positional play, that he's not good at central midfield. But I think he's getting used to it. I think for a long time now, since last season, he has been playing that central midfield role, and I think he's adapting well to it. And still talking about that DM role, players like Franquisi, who will be heading to the Camp Nou next summer, is also a DM by trade, which means that Frankie de Jong's tenure at Barcelona will be made up of a central midfield, because Barcelona intend to use Franquisi at that DM role, as Sergio Busquets gets older. Then on to the next story of discussion. A recent report from Dario Sport has dropped an interesting update on the future of Felipe Coutinho. The Brazilian is currently plying his trade with Aston Villa after joining them in January in a short-term loan deal from Barcelona. He is set to return to Camp Nou at the end of the season, but Barca have no interest in keeping him at the club. Aston Villa have the option to make the loan move permanent if they are willing to pay his €40 million buyout clause, but the Villains are having doubts about whether they should commit to such a hefty investment, largely due to the player's receding form in recent weeks. Coutinho started his return spell in England brightly, racking up 4 goal involvements in his first 3 league matches, but the Brazilian has not been involved in a single goal in the last 4 matches. It has coincided with Villa's dip in form, with the Midlands club succumbing to 4 losses on the trot. Coutinho's dip in form has forced Aston Villa to reconsider a permanent move for him. They are expected to ask Barcelona to halve their €40 million demand, but it appears the Catalans might be able to sell the playmaker for their desired price tag, thanks to Newcastle United. The Magpies are hoping to take advantage of Aston Villa's indecision by matching the €40 million buyout clause. They are also willing to match Coutinho's hefty salary in an attempt to convince the Brazilian to join the Tennessee outfit next season. Newcastle United were interested in Coutinho in January, but the player did not want to join the club. He eventually ended up joining Aston Villa thanks to the influence of former Liverpool teammate Steven Gerrard. Newcastle's wish to match the 29-year-old's buyout class could now put them in pole position to sign the player in the summer. But with Aston Villa having the first say in this deal, the operation may hinge on their decision come the end of the season. So Barcelona want to do all they can, to make sure €40 million, is being ripped from Coutinho. And Aston Villa are reluctant to do just that, especially as Coutinho right now is not in the best form. So as Aston Villa, failing to win their last 4 games, losing 4 straight matches. And of course, Barcelona will not have any problem whatsoever leaving Coutinho go to Newcastle United. But it all depends on the player, because initially Coutinho did not want Newcastle United because Newcastle was interested in him back in the January transfer window, and Newcastle still look determined to get their hands on Coutinho. The €40 million for Newcastle is not an issue at all, of course, given the fact that they have new owners and they want to do all that they could to make sure their club competes at the highest level in football. And Coutinho being that star himself, Newcastle want to do all that they can to make sure that they can get Coutinho. And of course, with the offer that they might give him, it may be very difficult for Coutinho to resist, despite the fact that in the past, Coutinho had rejected them in favor of Aston Villa. So it will be interesting to see how the summer window will be. If, Aston Villa will accept Barcelona's €40 million demand, or if they don't, Newcastle is there waiting for him. So Barca, as it stands, are very ready and are very happy that no matter what, that €40 million, could easily come to their hands because of Coutinho's transfer. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.